Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Prasad Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji. Is my voice audible, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Yes, Prabhu, you are audible. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. We can hear you. Are we ready, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we can start.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavad Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Chaitanya Prasad Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 5, and we will be starting the chapter number 18. First 1 and 2 will be shared by Prabhuji. Prabhuji, over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. My humble respects to all the devotees. Vancha kalpataru krishna kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Welcome to our daily Bhagavatam reading and discussions. We are reading today from 5th canto, starting the chapter number 18 today. So let us quickly recite the verse. Before that, we will offer prayers to Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatiruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So I'm displaying the verse here. So this is 18th chapter. The prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambudvipa. We saw in the Jambudvipa there are 9 varshas. In that the first varsha, Ilavrita varsha, there the Supreme Lord Sankarshana is prayed to by Lord Shiva. Now in this chapter there will be other varshas described with the predominating deities and the chief devotee offering prayers. So text 1, Shukadev Goswami continues. Shri Shuka Uvacha. So this is in prose, so I will be reading this. You can also read at your place. Tatha cha Bhadrashrava nama dharmasutastat Purusha Bhadrashva Varshe Sakshat Bhagavato Vasudevasya Priyam Tanum Dharmamayim Hayashirshabhidhanam Paramena Samadhina Sannidhapyedam Abhigrananta Upadhavanti. The word-to-word meaning. Shri Shuka Uvacha, Shukadev Goswami said, Tathacha. Similarly, just as Lord Shiva worships Sankarshana in Ilavrita Varsha, Bhadrashrava, name known as Dharmasutaha, the son of Dharmaraja, Tat of him, Kulapataya, the chiefs of the dynasty, Purusha, all the residents, Bhadrashva Varshe, in the land known as Bhadrashva Varsha, Sakshat, directly, Bhagavataha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudevasya, of Lord Vasudeva, Priyam Tanum, very dear form, Dharmamayim, the director of all religious principles, Hayashirsha Abhidhanam, the Lord's incarnation named Hayashirsha, also called Hayagriva, Paramena Samadhina, with the highest form of trance, Sannidhapya, coming near, Idam, this, Abhigranantaha, chanting, Upadhavanti, they worship. Translation, purport of this verse and the next verse by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Translation, Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Bhadrashrava, the son of Dharmaraja, rules the tract of land known as Bhadrashva Varsha. Just as Lord Shiva worships Sankarshana in Ilavrita Varsha, Bhadrashrava, accompanied by his intimate servants and all the residents of the land, worships the plenary expansion of Vasudeva known as Hayashirsha. Lord Hayashirsha is very dear to the devotees, and he is the director of all religious principles. Fixed in the topmost trance, Bhadrashrava and his associates offer their respectful obeisances to the Lord and chant the following prayers with careful pronunciation. So, in the next verse, it is a prayer. In fact, the next few verses are the prayers by this great devotee, Bhadrashrava. We will also do text 2 today. Bhadrashravasa uchuhu. So kindly at your place, kindly try to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Dharmayatma Vishodhanaya Nama iti. The word-to-word meaning, Bhadrashravasa Uchuhu, the ruler Bhadrashrava and his intimate associates said, Om, O Lord, Namaha, respectful obeisances, Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dharmaya, the source of all religious principles, Atma Vishodhanaya, who purifies us of material contamination, Namaha, our obeisances, Iti, thus. Translation. The ruler Bhadrashrava and his intimate associates utter the following prayer. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all religious principles, who cleanses the heart of conditioned soul in this material world. Again and again, we offer our respectful obeisances unto him. Purport. Foolish materialistic persons do not know how they are being controlled and punished at every step by the laws of nature. They think they are very happy in the conditioned state of material life, not knowing the purpose of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita 7:15, Lord Krishna describes such materialistic persons as mudhas. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama. These mudhas do not know that if they want to purify themselves, they must worship Lord Vasudeva Krishna by his performing penances and austerities. This purification is the aim of human life. This life is not meant for blind indulgence in sense gratification. In the human form, the living being must engage himself in Krishna consciousness to purify his existence. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyet. This is the instruction of King Rishabhadev to his sons. In the human form of life, one must undergo all kinds of austerities to purify his existence. Yasmat Brahma Saukhyam Tvanantam. We are all seeking happiness, but because of our ignorance and foolishness, we cannot know what unobstructed happiness really is. Unobstructed happiness is called Brahma Saukhya, spiritual happiness. Although we may get some so-called happiness in this material world, that happiness is temporary. The foolish materialists cannot understand this. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj points out, Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimudhan. Merely for temporary materialistic happiness, these rascals are making huge arrangements and thus they are baffled life after life. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sa Agrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् Hare Krishna, welcome all devotees for this daily Bhagavatam reading and discussion. I am finding myself very grateful to be amidst you. His Grace Sankarshan Priya Prabhu very well coordinating this forum of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We have been studying like this Bhagavatam verse after verse, and we have come to the 5th canto, chapter number 18. So in this chapter, it's a chapter filled with prayers. So just a minute, I am not able to locate one file. I'm sorry. Sorry for this delay. There was some hiccup. So in this 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the predominating topic of discussion we all know is Sthanam. Srimad Bhagavatam, the essential message of Srimad Bhagavatam is only one. Any of you would like to say that? Which is that? What is the central message? What is that one thing which Bhagavatam wants to tell to its readers?
Pure devotional service.
Pure devotional service. Okay. Yes, that's true. Something little more expand on it. What is one's attainment? What is one's
love of Godhead? Love of God, Prabhu.
Love of Godhead, yes. Pure love of Godhead. And especially the Ashraya Tattva. The Ashraya Tattva, that's the 10th topic. That's Lord Shri Krishna himself. In the very beginning of Bhagavatam itself, it is specified. The very first line itself says, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. That first shloka ends saying Satyam Param Dhimahi, welcoming everyone, asking everyone to join in meditating on that Param Satya, who is Vasudeva, who is Krishna. And very end of the conversation of Shuka and Parikshita, Suta and Shaunaka, it ends with that same line, Satyam Param Dhimahi, in the 12th canto. So there are many ways to understand what is that one thing which a book tells. In the Shastra, There are many ways. There is a framework. I'll not go to that technical aspect. You need to see what is told in the beginning and what is told at the end. We need to see what is told repetitively. We need to see what is told with great elaboration. What is told in that book, something very specially. Like this, there are technical words to it. I'll not, let's not go into that technical words. But point is, the central message of Bhagavatam, told in the beginning, in the end, with repetition, with great emphasis, is Satyam Param, that is Lord Sri Krishna. And that Lord Sri Krishna is best understood when one follows the marga, that is Kevala Bhakti, that is Ananya Bhakti, that is Shuddha Prema. So there are many literatures given by Vyasa where he has described Lord Vishnu, Lord Hari, Lord Krishna. But the way in which Srimad Bhagavatam explains Lord Krishna is with that method of Ananya Bhakti. That's the way to understand. Like in Gita, Krishna has told, Bhaktya Mam Abhijananti. He described that if one wants to understand me, Tattvataha, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati Yavan Yaschasmi Tattvataha. In that 11th chapter, it's told. If you want to understand me fully, not just as someone who maintains the order in this world, not someone who provides our necessities, not someone who is present everywhere, witnessing our activities and providing us our karma phala. No. Someone who is full of love, without any condition, he loves the jivas and he exchanges that love. He is always looking to give that higher experience to the jiva. So that kind of a personality who is full of love, Prema Purushottama, Lord Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is the complete understanding of Param Satya, which Bhagavatam says. And that Param Satya, because we have a very material understanding, our intelligence and our senses are also only grasping material objects, it is very difficult to understand someone who has the very nature which is spiritual, which is opposite compared to our perception. That is why Bhagavatam describes the 9 topics which are considered as secondary explanations of Param Satya. The primary explanation or understanding of the complete explanation, that's called Swarupa Lakshana of Param Satya Sri Krishna, is Ashraya. Since Jiva, who is conditioned soul, when he is told directly about Ashraya Tattva, often he will mistake that Parama Tattva to be material conditioned entity like himself. That is why these 9 topics are explained so that one properly comes to appreciate that completely spiritual, one who is full of emotions, spiritual qualities, Sarva Ascharya, Sarva Atita. All these descriptions are told by our acharyas. So that's why it is told, Dashamasya Vishuddhyartam Navanam Iha Lakshanam. So after telling the 10 topics, that word is told. The main purpose of Bhagavatam is Dashamasya, Dashama Vishaya, which is Ashraya. But to explain that Dashama Vishaya properly, Navanam Iha Lakshana. The 9 topics are actually describing the Lakshana, the Tatastha Lakshana of that primary entity, Lord Sri Krishna. So in that respect, Sthanam, it describes about Lord's offering the suitable place, not just of physical living, but also a place for its growth in consciousness. So sthana, like I remember last time I got the opportunity to share Srimad Bhagavatam and serve. That time we had seen the definition of sthanam. Any of you recollect? Any of you recollect? The definition of sthanam.
The position of living entities in the planetary system.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's true. Sthana means in the planetary system, yes. But the definition which just follows that 10 topics listing, it says sthanam Vaikunta Vijaya. Just see that 10th chapter of second canto where these 10 topics are listed. Following that, each of the 10 topic is defined by a small line. So, sthanam, sthiti, Vaikunta Vijaya. What it means is the Lord of Vaikunthas, that is the Supreme Lord, his victory is shown by this sthana. What does this mean? It means by positioning the jiva in its most apt position, not just physically again, it is also meaning varnashrama. It is also meaning a position in the bhakti ladder. Because Lord has devised that system so that one elevates gradually, progressively, he is proceeding to understand his Swarupa. So that is actually a path of victory. It's a path of victory. So Sthitir Vaikuntha Vijaya, that is explained like that. So in this regard, we have come, of course, all of us have gone through elaborate dimensional understanding, cosmological understanding of the universe, how every place, planet, how far they are located, what all are the oceans and the tracts named, all different vertical, horizontal explanations of the universe in the geography, the cosmology in that sense. So in that, if you see the purpose of explaining it, why will, first of all, why will Shukadev Goswami explain such a description to someone who has asked to tell the topic of most importance, that too at the most needed time, that's the time of, living body. Why will one give time on understanding such technical matters? So that question, in fact, was asked by Parikshit only. Why is, first of all, he is curious to know it. So he is very curious, he is very inquisitive or eager to know how Lord, by his energies, he is present in this. The Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, these are all descriptions of, in fact, all these 9 topics are descriptions of Lord's energies. So that's called Jnana and Vijnana. Jnana is the knowledge about the Swarupa of the Lord. Vijnana is the knowledge of the Lord's energies. Both have to be understood. Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. Krishna also says in Gita. And in Bhagavatam it is told Jnanam, then Vijnanam, then Rahasyam, Tadangam, like that it is described. So the point what we are saying is that the Lord's energies, to understand and appreciate Lord as someone who is supremely energetic. And he is a person with energies. This is a very significant understanding in absolute truth. Understanding of absolute truth, sorry. So usually absolute truth is understood as some force, some power, some prakasha, or some laws which are impersonal. To see the person behind that is a very significant growth in a person's consciousness. Of course, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we have gotten theoretically a highest understanding of absolute truth. But in realization, to progress like this is a very, very significant growth, that yes, there is a person who is witnessing, who is under whose supervision everything is happening. So that shows, okay, this person is there, means it also follows that that person has a desire, a will, under which everything is functioning. That means if he desires, the things can happen the other way also. So that shows how much Lord is potent. He can make the things function the other way also. What is needed is if only we can invoke his mercy or desire on us. So that's a very significant growth. So in that sense, the jiva, he is understanding. And one of the purpose of sthana is that just see that in so many places in the universe, the Lord is worshipped. It's not that in one corner of the country, the state, the city, a devotee is struggling with something which he cannot understand, perceive, or experience. It looks so difficult in this day and age, especially. No, the majority of existence is, Prabhupada said also, Krishna conscious. Just as in a city, the place where people don't follow the government are kept in a very remote corner, and they are given some treatment for reformation. That is a very small part of us. But much of the city very much follows the laws of the government, and they are leading some sober life, some peaceful life, some happy life. Yes. So this understanding gives a kind of confidence in the jiva. Just see the great people in the higher planets, just seeing the people in the adjacent varshas, just see the people even in the lower planets are all worshipping the Supreme Lord Hari. So that way, this personality, Bhadra Shravasa, sorry, there is some spelling. Bhadrashrava Varsha. His name is Bhadrashrava, Bhadrashva Varsha, and his name is Bhadrashrava. He is praying to the predominating deity of that place. So just see that Lord is present personally at different places in the universe in his personal appearance. So in this particular place, he is present in this form of Haya Shirsha. Haya Shirsha, also called Haya Griva, the Lord with the head like a horse, just like we say Nara Hari. Similarly, here is Haya Griva. So this particular form of Lord, there is one famous pastime which Prabhupada tells in the summary of this chapter in the beginning, translating Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's Tippani for every chapter. He says that Brahma, who was given the sacred Vedic knowledge, he was once attacked by a demon. Prabhupada names that demon as Ajnana. We also sometimes hear this word Madhu and Kaitaba, two very famous demons. They stole the knowledge from the consciousness of Brahma. Very, very subtle, the most subtle hacking, you can say, or stealing, theft, in the most sophisticated, most subtle manner. Those demons stole, and that's when Brahma was clueless. So he prayed to Lord. So Lord appeared as this Haya Shirsha, Haya Griva. He kills those demons and he returns the Vedic knowledge to Brahma. In the daily morning prayers, Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha, there also the word is told. Rama, Krishna, remember this? Rama, Krishna. And if you recollect, Hayagriva. Yes, that word is told. So in remembering many, many forms of the Lord, this form is also remembered, Hayagriva. So Srila Prabhupada, he especially, I would like to just look at the shloka. Let us see the shloka. The first verse of this shloka, it tells about how this, at this place called Bhadrashrava Varsha, the chief personality, the jiva is Bhadrashrava. Bhadrashva Varsha, that is Bhadrashrava. And there he is, along with his entourage or people, associates, he worships Hayagriva. So Hayagriva is qualified by very special quality. He is the director of all religious principles. Dharma Setu, Dharmatma, Dharmayatma, Dharmamayim, that word is used. So in the prayer, the very first prayer which Bhadra Shrava offers, there also you can see these two qualities. Dharmaya. Dharmaya means what? Can someone see the word-to-word meaning? Dharmaya. What does Dharmaya mean?
The source of all religious principles.
Source of all religious principles. And there is one more quality, Atma Vishodhanaya. This is something which Prabhupada elaborates on in the whole purport. Atma Vishodhanaya. Please see word-to-word meaning.
Who purifies us of material contamination.
Purifies us. So Vishodhana, Shodhana means purify. In fact, thoroughly. So Vishodhana. Dharmaya Atma Vishodhanaya Bhagavate Nama Iti. So you are none other than that Supreme Person, Om. I offer you, who is the source of all religious principles, who is the purifier of the jivas of their material contamination. I offer you my respect. 2 times Nama is told here. You can see how much. Sometimes when something is repeated, that shows the emotion of that person. We say that very famous verse, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, repetition, repetition. So the emotion there is an urgency, or the only remedy, exclusive emphasis that is told there. So here, Nama, Nama, that shows how much this person, Bhadrashravasa, is feeling, offering respect. So Prabhupada in the purport has highlighted a few essential points. I have, for our clarity, I have just put them under 3 headings and put it here. The first one as purpose of creation. So purpose of creation, Prabhupada says, is our purpose of life is to purify oneself. Like that. So the whole creation is, surely we know there are clear purposes behind Lord creating this material world. Any of you recollect? Prabhupada tells 2 important purposes in creating this material world. Any of you recollect somewhere you have read across? Something which just came also recently. What is the purpose of Lord?
To take all the souls to backhead, Godhead.
Can that not be possible without creating this world?
The living entities wanted to have the sense of independent mentality and controllership, and they wanted to enjoy. So Lord actually created a place where they can go and try to experience that and realize that they are the enjoyers. I mean, they are the dependent entities, and Lord is the only enjoyer. So I think He's given opportunity for us to go through the self-reformation.
Correct. Thank you. So Lord gives a facility where Jiva can try to fulfill its desire. Though it is very artificial, nonetheless, Lord provides that opportunity. Okay, you want to do it, so exercise to the best of your ability. And here are the facilities for you. So, however, though the Lord's heart is there to facilitate the Jiva's desire, but the very nature of Jiva is that it cannot be happy without Lord. So Lord knows it, but He cannot force that lesson on that Jiva. So He allows the Jiva to come naturally to that condition. He doesn't force that, force feed, whatever you call it. So He creates a facility, and he never has that evil scheming that, okay, I will put here where at every step you will find disappointment, you will find you cheated and you will ultimately come to this lesson. No, Lord actually has made this creation in such a great detail, that people who don't want to go back to God can stay here eternally. That's why the Jiva is also called Nitya Baddha. He can continue to live here, but eternally go through the cycle of birth, old age, disease, death, like that. So Prabhupada says that the Mudhas, they think there is no higher purpose for this birth, old age, disease, and death. You recollect? That statement was there, maybe in the very beginning itself, it is told. Yeah. Yes, here is this thing. So they see that, yes, there is some repetition happening, but nonetheless, it's fine because we are finding happiness, no matter whether it's repetition or not. Some happiness, some experience, though in different appearances, it is there. Otherwise, how so many jivas of this material world are so passionately pursuing enjoyment causes. So in Bhagavad Gita, in the chapter called Divine and Demoniac, chapter number 16. Yeah, 16. Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga, it's called. So there, while describing a demoniac nature, a nature of rebellion, there Krishna tells that those people who are demoniac, how do they see this world? And if you recollect what Krishna tells about the vision of people having demoniac nature towards the creation, towards this world.
They want to exploit and enjoy the material.
They want to exploit and enjoy. Okay, very right. They see that everything, actually, this is for my enjoyment. Let me try to extract the maximum out. Anyone else want to say? There is a, I'll just try. Kama Haitu.
I am the controller.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got this. So this is the vision of a person with demoniac nature towards this world. What he says that this world actually is asatyam. Asatyam. Some people say no. They say in opposite. What do they say? Mithyam. This world is false. Jagat mithya. So the demoniacs say that this world is asatyam. They also say that this world has no foundation, apratishtham. How has this come? It has come. How has it come? They may go in explaining in very difficult terms, but the essential thing they want to say is there is no foundation. Don't ask about it. Don't think about it. It has just appeared by some bang or by some flash or by some natural evolution or some chemical combination. Nothing. Whatever it is having no pratishtha, no pratisthana, no foundation. They say this world is anishwaram. What is anishwaram mean?
No God control.
No control. No control. There is no controller, no God here. No need to think about God or some supreme controller. Why do they think like this? Why do they say like this?
Why? They want to be the controller.
If someone wants to enjoy, he doesn't want to know that there is someone above him. Like usually those, at least I had this experience in childhood, when we want to do something which parents don't want us to do, then we usually do it in private. Where there is no parent, right? We want to eat something. Sometimes people in this mentality may even go to do bad activities because they don't want to see that controller, someone elder. So God, no, just keep him out of our discussions, out of all textbooks, discussions, our workings. Don't bring God in picture. Anishwaram. Then they also say this world has come, in fact, without great purpose. There is no purpose behind this. It has come. In fact, it has come because the opposite genders come together. That's it. That's it. Like animals, male animal and a female animal come together and there is a reproduction. Like that. The whole purpose of this existence also is this, that you come together with the opposite and you continue reproduction, and that in fact is the purpose, that is the cause. The cause is the lust, and in fact the purpose is also lust. Kama haitukam. Please, someone would like to read this translation? They say.
They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
So those who are ignorant, they say this. But Prabhupada says such people, they don't know the higher purpose. So Prabhupada in this purport which we saw, they say, what is the aim or the purpose of life? That is purification. Prabhupada points that out. If you really want to have happiness, then one should get purified. It is our common experience that when we get purified, we find very happy ourselves. When we take bath, no matter anyone, even animal also, when he takes bath, he comes, he feels fresh, he feels happy. Consider that for Atma. In the natural state, everyone is pure. But in the course of living, we get so many impurities. So to purify oneself means to get rid of those impurities. That itself gives happiness. So how do we purify oneself? Prabhupada says that one word. That word is used as tapo divyam. Tapaha. Tapa. Tapa means austerity, right? Can someone say what is austerity? How do we understand austerity?
To give up something which we have.
To give up something. Okay. That's also called sacrifice, Mataji?
Yes, sacrifice.
Are they same then? What do you think?
Willingly taking difficulties for my improvement.
Willingly take difficulties for improvement. Why? Without difficulties, I want to improve. Is that so?
Exactly. But because I have to be kind of, take some, let's say, austerity. Otherwise, nothing comes free.
Okay. This is a very interesting thing you're telling. Nothing comes free. Okay. That means naturally we will not be happy in this world if we live the way the world functions. So one has to go an extra mile, do something extra to feel that happiness. As Prabhu told, voluntarily take difficulties. What difficulties? Those difficulties are difficulties which are the way to realize happiness, not any difficulty. Is it not? Voluntary accept inconveniences for the purpose of spiritual growth, for the purpose of pleasing the Supreme Lord, all that. The word tapa has in it something called tapa. Tapa means tap. In Hindi, even in native languages, there is the word tapa. Temperature, no? Tapaman. Tapa means temperature, or tap also means heat. Sometimes in some languages, tap means fever. So tapa, tapta. So in the fire of austerity, a jiva is purified. Tapa, that fire, just like a mineral from a ore, from a crude rock, which one finds in a mine. He puts it into heating process. Then all that impurity is separated out, because different things have different melting points and there is so much of chemical thing around it. Point is, by heating, you purify, like gold, like sacred precious metals like that, even iron also. So all this get purified when one takes it to very high temperature. So similarly, a jiva when he accepts those inconveniences, which is very difficult for him, then he comes to a natural state, a pure state, where he will find himself in happiness. So I would like to today show in next little part. So need for purification we saw. So in Bhagavad Gita, this austerity or tapa is described by Krishna under 3 modes. I request, please read this. And, yeah. I hope you're able to see the screen. Austerity is in 3 modes. This comes in 17th chapter. So how one should do austerity? That's what is told. Please read.
I'm reading because nobody is coming forward.
Okay, please.
Austerities in 3 modes. Bhagavad Gita, 17 chapter, 17 to 19th verse.
Yeah.
This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme is called austerity in goodness.
So not expecting benefits with faith for the satisfaction of Supreme or some spiritual principle, paraya it is told. So that is goodness. Now next.
Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent.
So tapa done out of pride. Oh, I can do this. I have this strength. No one else can do it. Say, soon Nirjala is coming, right? Austerity, actually, is it not? At least for people like me. So it's very difficult. So someone is able to do something which commonly is not done. There is pride, and he expects, I will be respected, I will be honored. In fact, worship also. So that is penance in mode of passion. Read next. Penance performed.
Penance performed out of foolishness, with self-torture, or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
So to torture oneself or to torture others with a very wrong understanding of reality. So that is tapa in mode of ignorance. So by reading this, naturally we understand, yes, tapa should be done in sattva guna. And Krishna goes on to describe the threefold austerity. You may see this threefold austerity. Can someone guess what is threefold mean? That means austerity done at 3 levels, 3 ways. Yes.
This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith.
No need to read. I'm asking, what does threefold austerity mean? So Krishna has told before this, sequence of verses, austerity done at the level of body. Yeah, anyone would like to continue this thought?
Body, mind, and soul.
Mind and not soul.
Words.
Words, correct. Body, words, and mind. So at the 3 levels, Krishna talks about
BMW.
BMW. Yes. Prabhu, Devendra Prabhu, can you read this? Sorry, I stopped you at that time. Read this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please read on the screen. What?
Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and superiors, like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence.
Yeah.
Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature.
Okay.
And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Hare Krishna.
Mind. Just see. So austerity is not just something which I pick as I feel. There is very clear delineation. For body, what is the austerity? To offer physically pranamas, Deva Dvija Guru Prajna, all these people are superiors, worthy of respect, offering them pranamas, Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, all this is austerity. Then in the words, how should one speak? There also it is told how one should speak. He should speak Priyam, Hitam,
Anudvegakaram vakyam.
Anudvegakara, very right. I was not getting the word. Anudveg, not agitating to others. He should be speaking truth. Satyam, Priyam, Hitam. And then he should be speaking from Shastra. Swadhyaya Bhyasanam. So this is austerity of words. And then austerity in mind. See, the more gross it becomes, the more difficult actually it is to do. Subtler and subtler things are more difficult to even monitor also. So Krishna talks about austerity at the level of mind. What is that? Satisfaction, to feel satisfied. Okay, Krishna has given this much for my conduct of life. I should be satisfied with this. Not becoming too greedy, too persuasive or prayasa. Simplicity, living simple. Gravity in thoughts. Not superficially living, but deep in thoughts. They say high thinking, simple living. Then self-control. Then purification of one's existence. See this, the world has come. Atma Shuddhi. These are austerities of mind. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has gone in great detail to explain this principle of austerity. So surely austerity should be done at the level of goodness, in the mode of goodness, and it includes all this. Now, in the path of bhakti, it is not just told about living like this in mode of goodness. In bhakti, we do austerity with a special understanding. Anyone would like to add to it? Something very famous. We do austerities for the pleasure of
satisfaction of the Lord.
Krishna's pleasure.
The pleasure of the Lord.
For pleasure of the Lord. For pleasing Lord, a devotee wants to go an extra mile. Right now, there is this famous occasion of Chandana Yatra. This shows this principle. How? Anyone recollect the whole pastime behind this Chandan Yatra? How this principle is seen?
Madhavendra Puri.
So Madhavendra Puri, he is in so much trouble to please Krishna. Some vision appeared in his dream, and later he goes on such great inconveniences. He travels all the way by walk, practically alone, trying to find sandalwood. On the way, so much of difficulties, troubles, threats. And there also he gets another dream. He wants to, he desires to taste some special bhoga offered to Lord as prasada. Then he leaves that place. Lord does that special pastime. Then again, he runs away from people who may come behind him, considering him as very great. He's running away from fame. Somehow again, he gets that chandan. When he's bringing back, Lord tells, no, you don't need to bring. You offer it here only. So much of change of one's plan is there, you see. So when one is trying to do something for Krishna's pleasure, it is Krishna's will that has to be followed, is it not? So Krishnarthe akhila cheshta. So with the changing plan, a devotee is not finding himself disturbed or disappointed. The plan is Krishna's. So he may want in different ways to be pleased. Not the way we feel we want to please Krishna. No. So all this are very nicely shown in the lives of devotees, that they do akhila cheshta, great endeavors to please Krishna, who is such a wonderful person, who has his own ways of acting to increase the loving emotions of a devotee. So Krishna's pleasure is what is the main purpose of austerity in devotional service. It's also seen that for the pleasure of Guru, because Krishna sometimes, often, most of the times, is not understood by us well. So Guru tells what Krishna wants. Guru tells, okay, here, bring the deities to home, offer them worship daily, offer them this bhoga, conduct like this, chant holy names daily. So these are all instructions given by Guru, which please Krishna. He tells what pleases Krishna. So that is austerity for Krishna's pleasure. So that's something very, very sacred. So today what we saw, actually, I wanted to discuss one more thing about happiness. I think I will not be able to do that, but I'll just show a conclusion of it and make just a small reading of that. Okay. So in bhakti, which is uttama bhakti or uttama nature, which is pure devotional service, which everyone can do. Not that only very pure souls only can do uttama bhakti. That's not told in our bhakti shastras. One who is having anarthas in his heart, if he has a very sincere desire, he can render uttama bhakti. By practice of that uttama bhakti, all the anarthas are destroyed. That's why we have that stage anartha nivritti much after Shraddha Sadhu Sangha. But nonetheless, Shraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya, they are in uttama bhakti only. So when one practices uttama bhakti, then one experiences one of the stages called Shubhadha. Shubhada. This comes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sadhana Bhakti is one of the stage or characteristics. At the level of Shubhada, he finds bhakti, the happiness of bhakti is superior to happiness of material enjoyment. Just see. At the level of very practice itself, one can try to appreciate the superior nature of bhakti. Even liberation also. So at the stage called bhava, one experiences that bhakti is so superior that liberation is insignificant. Not just bhakti is higher, but it makes the moksha laghu, insignificant. Bhakti is so great that a devotee thinks moksha is like hell. You might have heard those very famous statements of great devotees. Kaivalyam narakayate. At the level of prema, happiness becomes so condensed, so very thick. That's why it's called Sandra Ananda. Sandra means something very, very condensed, like this shakkar, which is crystal sugar. No? It's so condensed. It is so superior that one doesn't even see this material enjoyment or moksha. In the beginning, he is seeing, oh, material happiness also is there, liberation is there, but bhakti is superior. In the stage of bhava, he is finding bhakti to be so superior that this is nothing. This is so insignificant. It is there, but it is so insignificant. But at the level of prema, he doesn't get to see only material enjoyment or sense gratification and liberation. That is the high nature of bhakti. So to this extent, some very famous shlokas are told at the level of sadhana, bhava and prema. Maybe we'll just read the translation and we will conclude that part. I request, can someone read the English translation below? All the siddhis.
Prabhuji, I will read below.
Yeah, please. Yes, please.
All the siddhis headed by liberation and all astonishing material pleasures follow after the great goddess called Hari Bhakti, like fearful maid servants.
All that material enjoyment, pleasures, even moksha also follows bhakti. When someone attains bhakti, this is uttama bhakti, they already attain all these other lower attainments. One last shloka. How much great is the happiness of bhakti? Please read this translation. The bliss.
The bliss of Brahman realization accompanied by samadhi.
Accumulated by
samadhi lasting for half of Brahma's life cannot compare to one drop of the ocean of the happiness of bhakti.
Bhakti, just see how great is this bhakti. Huh? So as just before I would like to just see the growth of a devotee's understanding and depth in bhakti. To that extent, he rises above this material troubles and even the desire for getting liberated, which is also not devotional. It's maybe spiritual, but not devotional. So that's the superior nature of bhakti. So I'll not delve much on that because it's already over time. So today we just saw these 3 points: pure purpose of creation, how it is for purification of one's existence, Atma Shuddhi, and only when a pure state we can experience happiness. So we saw tapa in 3 modes: tapa done at the level of body, mind, and words. And then we saw the 3rd point of how a person, when takes to bhakti, of course, tapa for Krishna's pleasure, that's the topmost understanding of tapa, austerity. And in bhakti, happiness is increasing. How it is increasing at sadhana, bhava, and the prema stages. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry for taking it longer. At the same time, I offer my respects to all of you for your patient hearing. I invite any comments or questions at this time so that we can better appreciate Srimad Bhagavatam. Whatever I tried to present it was what I heard from my Gurujanas, and I offer my respects and gratitude to them. Kindly forgive me if any mistakes devotees can add in here to help us appreciate Bhakti and Bhagavan properly. Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki. Any of you want to add anything? Prabhu, Sankarsana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, and again, emphasizing the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental principles explained in Bhagavatam. Actually, you reminded us. Thank you very much, Prabhu. I would like to request, I have a question, but I will reserve it. I request the devotees to share their comments or questions or reflections, please.
Oh, it's a wonderful class, very interactive, and I mean, we could recollect the things that very nice. Prabhu, I wanted to know, when we are full of anarthas, how can we practice Uttama Bhakti?
That's something which is very special in Rupa Goswami's definition of bhakti. Rupa Goswami, when he's defining bhakti, he says, bhakti actually, in a very common understanding, can be done by everyone. Anyone who has gotten a human life is fit for performing bhakti. But when one has to perform Uttama Bhakti, especially in conditioned stage, when he doesn't have that attraction to Supreme Lord naturally, then what is necessary is Shastra. So one who follows the Shastra and Guru, even when he is in impure state, still he can practice Uttama Bhakti. This is described in that shloka, Anyabhilashita Shunyam. See, when it is told Shunyam, it is told about the desires which are for karma and the jnana. But when it is told about jnana, karma, adi, anavritam, there it is not told Shunyam. A jiva will have to do activities in this world, karma. A jiva will have to try to gain knowledge in this world, that's jnana. But the motive of performing karma and the jnana is not for enjoyment or liberation. If the motives are set right, even though one may have many other desires also very much strongly competing with us, but if one's prominent desire is to serve the Lord, to serve the Guru sincerely, seriously, that is considered Uttama Bhakti. That's considered Sadhana Bhakti. So Sadhana Bhakti is pure devotional service in practice stage. Bhava Bhakti is pure devotional service at an advanced stage. Prema Bhakti is pure devotional service at perfect stage. So all 3 are pure devotional service, and all 3 are defined by this one shloka, Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Adhyana. In the sadhana stage, that is not natural. That is why one has to follow the acts of devotional service physically, mentally, by words, all that. So then slowly, that natural love is awakened. That's the purpose of sadhana. The purpose of sadhana is to awaken that most natural, spontaneous love. But nonetheless, that cannot happen unless one follows Uttama Bhakti principles. So often, this was my understanding for quite a long time, that pure bhakti means only when I become fully rid of anarthas, then only I can perform. No, not necessarily. A sincere devotee who is having that genuine desire to please Lord is considered pure devotee. Imagine this, when Srila Prabhupada was asked, how many pure devotees are there in your movement? He counted whoever were there and he told them, yes, these are pure. What was the understanding there? That everyone is in the path of pure devotional service growth. They are all aspiring. So one who is aspiring to be a pure devotee is also seen as pure devotee in the eyes of Lord. It is not purity that pleases Lord. It is the aspiration that pleases the Lord. And if Lord desires, he can purify in one moment also. So what is important in bhakti is we grow in our aspirations. We become purified in our aspirations. So when Lord wants, that time he will remove anarthas. Sometimes Lord may purposefully keep anarthas just to keep the devotee humble, just to keep the devotee. In that sense, anarthas, when they are there, they can be very, very favorable for bhakti, in the sense that a devotee goes to Lord helpless. Not that they are favorable in smarana or something. No, not like that. Okay, I hope this perspective helps.
Prabhu, one last question. I mean, maybe it is difficult for you to tell because paucity of time. That story you started, Madhu Kaitaba and that Hayagriva form, I've read it somewhere in some other Devi Bhagavatam. But can you just share that story, Prabhu, later?
Yeah, actually, I have read what is described in Bhagavata, Mataji. I will explore that and I will share with Sankarshan Priya Prabhu by text.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, personally, I don't know that details. What
Yes.
Prabhupada explains in those lines,
Yeah.
that much only I know. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. Anyone else would like to add a comment?
I have one question, Prabhu. Bhadra Shrava, you mentioned that he is actually head of the religious principle in the Bhadravarsha, planet. So when we say religious principle, Prabhuji, I think there are two types of dharma, no, Prabhuji, Bhagavata dharma and Vaidika dharma. So he is actually for which one, Prabhuji? Is it both or is it?
Okay. So the Lord Hayagriva is called as Dharmaya, Dharmamayi. So that dharma is, what dharma is it talking about? So that dharma talks both. Prabhupada describes in Bhagavad Gita purport that there are two types of dharma. One is Deha dharma, which is called also as Varnashrama dharma. And then there is Atma dharma, which is Sanatana dharma. So in a broad sense, both are called Sanatana dharma. Nonetheless, Atma is Sanatana in nature. Varnashrama applies to the body. But the Varnashrama is followed with the purpose of awakening the eternal love towards Lord. That's why it is also considered as Sanatana Dharma. So both these dharmas are addressed because what he offers to Brahma is the sacred Vedic knowledge, and Vedic knowledge has the central purpose of Atma Dharma, which is devotional service. So both are addressed, Prabhu. It is not just only the mundane or the conventional or Varnashrama Dharma alone. Is that
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can pause here for today.
Yes, Prabhu.
Tomorrow we
Thank
can.
you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Blend with Vaishnava Pranam, Prabhu. Panchakalpatarubhyascha
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Very, very thankful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees. We will end today's session. Hare Krishna.